How's everybody doing? Welcome to Deeply Disgusted. Welcome to the show. And usually I don't show my face first, but I figured in this episode I have to. I have to warn my viewers of what you're about to witness. Um, if you have any dummy hats, please put it on because you're gonna need it with this one. Um, this is somebody who is heavily loved and heavily hated on for the right reasons. And this is also somebody that I have to warn you, she's mentally ill. So here you go. Kamala Harris.
In the past couple of weeks, we have seen the indictments of former FBI Director James Comey, the indictment just a few days ago of the Attorney General.
What is that? What what is that? Did did y'all just see what I just saw? I, what is that? A monster? Are we in children's storybook? You know when the monsters came out the book and was coming out the closet? Is he one of them?
You called this in your book Trump's vengeance agenda.
Before it even happened.
Before it happened.
Yes.
You've predicted this. You seem like saying I told you so, but this is one of those things that you predicted. You were an attorney general of the second largest DOJ in the country, second only to the United States DOJ. What does what we're seeing mean for the rule of law in this country?
This is a full-on frontal attack on the rule of law in our country.
This interview is already weird. And it even gets started yet.
And, you know, one of the things that we talked about during those 107 days and even before was that the Supreme Court, during the course of the election cycle, made the decision, as you'll recall, that the president would be immune from any of his conduct while in office. So we went into the election with this individual, Donald Trump, knowing that he would essentially be immune from any consequence for misbehavior.
Trump, 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 and more Trump. Y'all not tired of hearing about Trump? Can we talk about policies? Can we finally talk about, helping the citizens? Are we supposed to be like trying to make the land that we live on better, or just like a war between Democrats and Republicans? Because I'm gonna tell you that it's a lot of Republicans. They not even thinking about no Democrats. Like,
while in office. So the Supreme Court basically gave him that. You look at what's happening in terms of the militarization of the streets of America, deploying people, men and women who have been trained to fight our adversaries or to do other important work that is about uplifting the well-being of the American people, being sent to the streets of America like here in Chicago. You look at what's happening in terms of the weaponization of the Department of Justice.
Of course she will convince y'all that making your cities safe and decreasing crime, whatever it takes, instead of 800 of y'all, 500 of y'all dying every year. Of course she will convince you because she's a Democrat. The Democrat or the Confederate. They work for the KKK. The KKK worked for the Confederate Democratic Society. Of course, their whole ideology is based on Confederacy. It's based on Confederacy. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you something. This woman right here, she not on your side. You know whose side she's on? She's not even on the Indian side. Indie. Can I get you a Slurpee? She not on their side. You know whose side she on? She on the side of I was gonna say something else, but I changed my mind. She's on the side of the almighty dollar. The same side your broke ass should be focused on. You know what I mean?
To your point, going after Comey, going after the Attorney General of the state of New York, who a previous prosecutor, who I'm told was a conservative Republican, reviewed the evidence and decided that there was not enough facts to charge her with a crime, and she has been indicted. And what we see is that the rule of law is very much under attack by this president, who thinks that the Department of Justice is his personal lawyer and is basically subverting the will of the people around constitutional safeguards. I think that we also have to recognize that the district court judges, some of whom were even appointed by Trump and Democrats, but Republicans and democratically appointed judges in the district courts.
Please don't ever show him again. I would rather look at Kamala Harris or her. I don't know if it's a him or her. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know, I am very polite to my LGBT ABC community, and I don't want no beef with any type of grammar as far as pronouns. But just for our eyes, please, pretty please, don't show that face of whatever that is again.
Are standing up. And I think that is something that we should recognize and praise, that they are saying that where there's an abuse of power, they're going to stand firm. But
you know what's so funny and so hilarious? I'm a lot of people think I'm a comedian, but I kind of am. But a lot, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all something real funny. It's not like a funny stage joke, but it's a joke that is funny to people that have common sense. Trump is the only ex-president that got charged multiple times, multiple felonies, back to back to back. He even got charged for measurements on a property during a Democratic administration. But this black woman is telling y'all that he's using the administration and the feds as his own police. I'm going to tell you something that I think dementia is spreading in the Democratic Party, and I think that Joe Biden started the pandemic.
we also see everyday people and their constitutional rights being trampled, whether it be Fourth, Fifth, or Sixth Amendment rights. So this is a real issue and a serious issue. And the people, I think, are speaking through their vote and their voice to say they're not going to stand for it.
You mentioned the Attorney General, and Trump messaged her, he thought he messaged her, but he sent it out to everyone. I'm assuming you saw that, calling for...
Yeah, I hear that he must have DM'd her and didn't realize everybody would see it.
Yeah, everyone was a little surprised by it, including himself, apparently. But he called...
Oh, I see the nail polish. Oh, Lord, I see the nail polish. I just seen it. I'm sorry. I had to pause the tape because I was about to say something very intelligent, but I had to pause the tape because that threw me off. I didn't know she had nail polish. It kind of threw me off. But is this what they want to, show as a representative, as a black man? No problem. I don't like using black all the time, but I'm going to use it for y'all, okay?
Called for the Comey and the James indictments. Your fellow Californian, Adam Schiff, is on that list. So right now he's of 2 of 3. Do you believe that...
Be honest, can y'all really take this serious? Are y'all really sitting down taking notes?
These are about getting convictions, or is it actually about sending a message to anyone who might speak out against him to make clear to folks that they shouldn't do it because there might be consequences?
I think he has a vengeance campaign, which is, I think, really exposing the petty nature of who he is and his.
Yo, she only talks negative. Y'all don't. Y'all don't notice that okay. Y'all don't believe me? Let's listen.
Deep level of insecurity, that he feels that he has to use the power of the federal government and the United States Department of Justice to go after people who have disagreed with him, or as prosecutors who have used a combination of the facts and law to prosecute him. From everything I know, Attorney General James based a conviction, or she didn't convict them, but based her charges, which was then resulted in a conviction, based on facts and the law. But he can't take that. He can't take the fact that he's been held accountable, and so he is on a vengeance campaign.
The same way you can't take that you lost the election. The same way you can't take that you lost, you loser. What are you, 0-0? Try again, buddy.
Okay.
What the DOJ does, and you know this better than I do, is so fundamental to the backbone of the country, right?
Yeah.
The rule of law versus the rule of men. Can Americans...
Listen, bro, you better not dare talk about no men again. You better not, and you better take that out your vocabulary. You better take it out of your vocabulary. You done switch sides.
Trust the criminal justice system right now and what's coming out of the DOJ?
Is this like a comedy skit?
Don't know if we can trust what's coming out of the Department of Justice right now. And that pains me to say that as someone who spent the majority of my career as a prosecutor, where the work of a prosecutor should be to do justice. Many who have worked as U.S. attorneys, worked for the U.S. Department of Justice, talk openly and rightly about the fact that they should do their work without any fear and not in the interest of favor. And that so clearly is not what is ruling the day there.
She do a lot of rhyming, right? Was she like a rapper back in the day? Back in India, she was like rapping with the Indians?
And when you have an administration and individuals who are manipulating the justice system of America in that way, they best understand that this is not only about something that affects the individuals that they're targeting. This affects all of us who believe that, flawed though it may be, that a justice system is actually supposed to be blind in the way.
Oh, this is such an intellectual speech. I'm just in a trance just listening to her, But the real me feel like I'm getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber.
That it does its work, not targeting people because of who they are, or for that matter, what they look like.
During your DC events this week, you said that you encourage civil service folks to stay in their jobs.
Yes.
To help, as I think as you put it, to kind of clean up after Trump, whatever that is, and whenever that means. But for the folks in the DOJ, where this vengeance campaign is happening, you see Eric Siebert, who was in Virginia, leaving because of other pressure, lots of other folks, because they can't take it. How can they possibly stick it out? How do they actually do that? What's your advice to them?
Well, like I said that day, I can't pretend to tell them what to do based on what is important to them. But I will speak on...
Yo, do she always talk in riddles? Do she always talk in riddles? What is she, the Riddler? What are you, when you was one of the characters in Batman? Huh? Miss Harris, was you one of the characters? Was you the Riddler? Cause all you do is talk in riddles. I'm just trying to. I have to really like look at your lips, hear you, and like see what your subconscious is talking about in order for me to even understand what you are saying.
On behalf of what I believe is important to the country. And if they can stay and stick with it, I would implore them to do it. For the sake of the country, it is important that we have people in these powerful positions who understand rules of ethic, the rule of law.
Yes, I agree. I love America.
The fact that they should be there working on behalf of the people, not some personal political goal. So I do.
Yes, they should be just like you, upstanding and a very strong black woman, and they should stand up for their political goals. I agree. I agree. I agree.
Encourage, and it's not only people in the Department of Justice, people at the FDA, people in the Department of Health and Human Services.
She been learning some words, huh? Since she been that vice president, huh? That's good.
People are being pushed out or made to feel as though they can't actually do the job that they ethically know that they should do, and are being pressured in that way to the point that if they can't do the job that they care about, they're thinking about leaving. But then who does that leave? Who's left?
You also said in
What?
your book tour over and over that Democrats need to fight fire with fire.
Yes.
Should the next Democratic president change the way they deal with the DOJ? Should they be a little bit more involved than Democrats have been in the past? Does that include?
No president should think of the Department of Justice as being their person.
The Democratic Party owned the DOJ. What do you talk? What you think we some fools, fool?
Personal attorney. No president should try to influence prosecutorial decisions based on a political agenda. Period.
I personally, I agree with her. I think that every president should be upstanding and do what's right and never use the justice system, the DOJ, against any president like the way good old President Biden did. He was very upstanding, he made sure not to have the FBI, record and follow any Congress members. He made sure that never happened, and he also made sure that a lot of things got done that was bad to an ex-president.
You also write in the book about that warning in that last speech on the lips. I was there, where you said he would use the military to go after American citizens.
Yeah.
We're here in Chicago, one of the cities he's trying to. The courts have stopped him.
So if you notice, the wording of the he, she is very complex. She said that Trump said he's going to go after the American citizens, right? But I thought ICE goes after illegal aliens. But now they're American citizens. This is okay. Let's continue.
To send the National Guard in. Just today, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson said Trump has declared war on Chicago and other cities. Do you agree? Has the President of the United States declared war on cities run by Democrats in this country?
Well, let's just look at the facts and then draw your own conclusion. He is deploying U.S. military to the streets of America, a military that has been set up, stood up, and trained, for the most part, to do the work of fighting against adversaries, fighting against enemies, and deploying them on the streets of America as though, and he said it, to attack the enemy within. Here in Chicago, I'm told that the helicopters...
Democrats are the best at causing hysteria. They will call somebody who have anxiety at home to go to the doctor the next day and ask for an increase on their Xanax.
That were descending on an American city were Blackhawks.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what Blackhawks were designed to do?
War, yeah.
War. So
Please tell us, Carmela.
I think everyone can draw their conclusions just based on the facts and see that he has definitely decided he's going to use the power of the federal government to attack American cities and the people who live there.
What did you...
Yes, he's making the cities worse and causing more crime and killing and kidnapping American citizens and destroying them. But every day I watch videos of people in DC and Memphis saying that they're never voting Democratic again. And they're saying their kids are even thanking Trump, that they could walk to school without getting a bullet in their ass.
make of him saying and telling these generals and admirals, military leaders, a couple of weeks ago to use the cities as training grounds?
I think it's outrageous. I think it's outrageous. And any military leader that you speak with who has been there and taken an...
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a good idea if you ask me. By the New Jerker hoodie. But I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a great idea. I think that we should round up the troops and let's see if we could get some practice on those YNs, you know. You know, they do a lot of shooting, you know. I think they kill about a good last time I read it was about 500 to 800 a year in every city. I think we should go there and see if we could try to give them a little competition, you know? I think we need to send the troops to these cities and wipe them out like we're going to do the drug cartel. How about that? Do that sound like a good idea to y'all? Okay, let's continue. Go ahead, Carmela. You black woman, you.
An oath and served in combat will tell you that the idea that these men and women who sacrifice so much to enlist and to serve in our military forces would turn on American citizens for sport or training is completely against every reason that they signed up to serve our nation.
Did y'all hear anything positive yet? Just let me know, okay? Or send me an email. You see on the bottom, you see what's rolling on the bottom of my screen? Right there, that's my email. You could send it to me if she says anything positive, okay?
And to protect our nation.
When this airs, President Trump will be on his way to the Middle East. They have this deal between Israel and Palestine. Both former Secretaries of State, Hillary Clinton.
You better not ever go to the Middle East, my man. I'm just trying to save you a trip to 6 feet deep, bro.
And Antony Blinken have commended President Trump for the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Do you agree with them? Should he be commended?
Look, I don't think that we should hold in credit where it's due. I mean, first of all, let me say about that deal, I really do hope it becomes real and that the hostages are out, that Gaza is no longer being treated with such brutality of force, that aid goes in. And I commend the people who have been a part of this process. I'd commend the Qataris, the Egyptians, and the president.
A lot of folks in your party have called what's happening in Gaza a genocide. Do you agree with that?
I think that, listen, it is a term of law that a court will decide, but I will tell you that when you look at the number of children that have been killed, the number of innocent civilians that have been killed, the refusal to give aid and support, we should all step back.
It is a genocide. You see, if Trump was bombing another country and killing women and children in another country, women and children, I'm not talking about direct shots to the enemy and bases. Women and children, buildings, hospital. That's what they're doing. You know who I'm talking about. You know who the Israel. You know that's what they're doing. Genocide.
And ask this question and be honest about it. Yeah.
In the afterword of your book, you say, I'm going to get this right, in this critical moment, working within the system by itself is not proving to be enough. I will be with the people in towns and communities where I can listen to their ideas on how we rebuild trust, empathy, and a government worthy of the ideals of this country. As someone who's covered you for a long time, your kind of estimation that the system is not working so much so that you're ready and willing to step out of it was kind of surprising to me and a lot of folks who know you. What does that actually look like after the book tour? You're being outside, listening to the ideas of folks. How do you get around and talk to these people?
Well, I've been doing it along with the book tour and not with the press present, but convening folks to talk with them and mostly to listen. I think the American people have a lot.
Yeah, whatever. I'm done. I can't do no more. Listen, I'm about to go get a Motrin. I got a headache. And thank y'all for watching. And that's enough. We don't care about your book. We don't care about anything that you're doing as far as trying to sell. Okay? We're not giving you a single dime. We gave you millions of dollars. Well, your voters did. The no-brainers over there. And you basically spent the money on Beyonce. So catch me on the next episode. Like and subscribe. And thank y'all for watching. Deeply disgusted. Like and subscribe. And put something in those comments. I read every single one.